Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today is my first mukbang in my new apartment, so I have this like kind of janky setup in the background. It looks better on camera, but in reality it's like looks horrible in real life. But eventually I'll have some like cooler background, I think, to film at. And then for my first mukbang in my new apartment, I had to get Fat Sal's, which is like the name says it all, it's Fat Sal's. They have like these crazy fat French fries and then like crazy sandwiches too. So I got their mozzarella and gravy. This is their, what is this? Let me look. This is their buffalo chicken cheese fries, which have chicken fingers in it, cheddar and mozzarella cheese, and then I got with ranch, and then also has buffalo hot sauce on it. And then these are their Philly cheesesteak fries, which is self-explanatory. And then they gave me 2 sandwiches, which I only ordered one, so I don't know which one is which. The one that I ordered is the Fat Texas, and I'll pop up everything that has on the screen because it has so much stuff that I can't even remember to say it out loud. So, I mean, I got the sandwich for free, so I'm obviously not complaining. So we'll see what it tastes like though. Anyways, I'm so hungry, I'm gonna start eating. I'm just gonna try these mozzarella fries first. Oh my gosh, it's like poutine, but Fat Sal's version. Oh my gosh. Wow. I was kind of worried because I had to go drive to pick these up, and there was kind of a little bit of traffic, so I was like, I want the cheese fries to be warm, obviously when I eat them on camera, but they are warm. And then, ironically enough, today, for my video topic, while I'm eating Fat Sal's, I'm going to be talking about times in my life that I've been called fat, which I'll get into it, but it's just probably the worst thing for me to be called. Like, for some reason, it's just always hurt my feelings so badly. Like, even to this day, when I get comments on my certain of my videos, and they'll be like, oh, she's gained weight, oh, she's fat, and like I still remember every single video that I've gotten a comment like that on, just because even though I know that I'm not fat anymore, it's still like, it just stings, and it's always stung, and I want to kind of just talk about it because I feel like I get a lot of DMs from people talking about their body image issues, and I don't think it makes it any better that people are so cruel about body image issues. So I want to share some of my experiences, and hopefully if you're going through something similar, it'll make you feel better, or if you're not, you might just find the stories a little bit entertaining. So either way, I hope you guys like it. And if you don't know my history with my weight, this might really not make sense, so I'm just gonna briefly explain it. Basically, I've kind of been chubby all my life. Just like I've just always loved food. As you can see, I love food. I was always just chubby though. And then in high school, I gained quite a bit of weight. I went from like 140 to 220 pounds. So I'd gained quite a bit of weight, and I think that's the embarrassment of that was why it always hurt so bad when people would be mean to me and call me fat, which I feel like is just any time that I ever had an argument with someone or anything like that, that was like their default to go to. They must have like been able to read my mind and know that that would have been like the worst thing they could have said to me. Okay, now I'm gonna try their Philly cheesesteak fries, which I'm actually gonna go warm these up, I think. One sec. Okay, I was kind of nervous. I don't know if you're supposed to microwave these things. I felt like it was gonna blow up, but it actually worked out. So now they're a little bit warmer. So it has mozzarella and cheddar cheese in here, the Philly cheesesteak part, and then also they have grilled onions. Wow. Loaded fries, I think, are slowly but surely becoming one of my favorite foods. So anyways, on to my story times. Yeah, I guess this is like, I'm kind of trying to do a story time here because a lot of you guys want to see more story times. And I do have one more crazy roommate situation that I just promise I will do a story time on eventually. But I'm just kind of trying to think of stuff that you guys might find interesting to listen to. I guess I'll start with the first. I think I'll probably go in order. I have like 7 that I've thought of in my mind. And I'll probably try to go in order of when they happen, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I think I'll go in order of like how impactful they were to me, I guess. So that way, in case I run out of time, you guys hear like the main ones first. Whoa. What? That is so good, because like these are extra good because they have sauce on them. These are like not dry, but they're just not, they don't have sauce on them. And oh, sandwiches falling everywhere. And because it has chicken in it too, and like ranch and hot sauce, it's like so good. So I'll start with probably the worst one to me, and then I'll just go in order based off, yeah, like I said, which ones were like most impactful to me. The worst one to me, I think, came from my soccer coach, my high school soccer coach. I'm not gonna say his name or anything, but I feel like I never talk about it, but I used to play soccer. I played soccer like since I was young, like probably like 4 or 5, all the way up until the end of high school. And I was always pretty good, but then obviously when I gained weight, like I was slower, and that was like another insecurity of mine too. Was like I had been really good at soccer, and then I gained weight, and I just wasn't the same on the field. We were going through, I think it was junior year soccer tryouts, and what we used to do for soccer tryouts, it was more of like, because we had 2-a-days, so we would have to go there in the morning. I think we had to get there at like 9, and then we would also come back in the afternoon, and I think we had to go there at like 3. So it was a pretty long week of tryouts, especially because we had to run so much. Like even now, I don't know if I could do what I did then. Like even though I feel like I'm pretty in shape, those workouts were hard. Like we used to have to run the stairs for like 40 minutes. Basically, I've always had problems with my knee too. Like my knee still to this day will like hurt me randomly. I don't feel it every day, but I used to injure my knee a lot playing soccer, and so like it still hurts sometimes. But I had injured it like, I want to say during tryouts. Like I think I had made it through a couple days of tryouts, and then I had hurt it. And so I couldn't even play. I was like totally sitting out of tryouts. And at this point, a lot of you guys probably don't know this, but my sister actually started lifting before me. So we're both into lifting now, but she actually started lifting weights, like, which I think is so cool and so inspirational, when she was like a junior in high school, which no one did that then. And so she was really, really in shape, and she was really fast. And obviously at the time I wasn't, because I was overweight and she wasn't. We've both gone through periods where we've gained weight and been heavier, but at this point in time she was very skinny, or not even skinny, I would just say fit. Like she was very in shape. And I was sitting out of tryouts because of my knee, and I was just sitting on the sidelines watching them, which I always hated. Like, I always felt like people are like, oh, she's faking her injury so she doesn't have to run. Like, that's what I felt like whenever I was injured, and not even just because I was overweight, but I just always felt like people just thought I was trying to sit out because of my, like, for no reason, just because I wanted to sit out of running. So even though I know they probably weren't thinking that, that was like in the back of my mind. So I already kind of felt insecure about it. And then Sarah is doing, like, they're doing sprints around the track, and so they're sprinting literally, I think, a full track length, so like 1/4 of a mile, but they're sprinting it, and Sarah's in the lead. She's like blowing everyone out of the water. And oh, I almost just said his name, or I did say his name, but my soccer coach at the time turns to me and is like, geez, why is your sister so much more in shape than you? I was like, I literally just felt like I was like shrinking into myself. Like, I just wanted to just perish on the spot. Like, I felt so embarrassed. And I know that's the hard thing, is that I don't think he meant it in a rude way. Like, he was kind of an asshole, but he wasn't saying it to be malicious. Like, that was the hard thing, is like, I had to kind of like laugh it off, you know? I was just like, oh, I don't know. But I just wanted to fucking die. Like, I was so embarrassed. Oh my God. They got mozzarella sticks in here. They have fries in here. They have chicken fingers in here, I think. I don't even know. I think this one might be the Big Fat Texas. So I don't know what this one is. I was originally just gonna only get cheese fries from them, but then last minute I decided to get a sandwich, and I'm so glad I did, because this is so good. So yeah, that one was like the worst one, even though it was the nicest one, kind of, because first off, like, I already felt insecure about how I had gained weight. Like, I had gained weight in high school, and so it was like everyone knew I'd gained weight. I had started off high school, I was pretty thin, and then by junior year I was like 220 pounds, and so I was obviously embarrassed because it's like everyone knows you gained weight, and then on top of that, it's like to be compared with your twin sister who is very in shape at the time, and then to have like someone just turn to you and be like, well, why aren't you as fit? It's just like, I don't know. Like, can you just not ask that question? Low key, I'm kind of sweating from this small amount of hot sauce that's on these fries, because my tolerance for hot food is so freaking low. I'm like literally sweating. If any of you guys tried this, you'd laugh at me because it's not hot. Like, it's really not that hot, but here I am. So yeah, that was probably like the most embarrassing one. And then the next one I feel like that most affected me also took place in high school, but this was earlier. I'll insert photos of what I used to look like my freshman year, because I wasn't even fat at this point. That's what kills me, is because when this person said it to me, I genuinely thought I was fat. And that's what the shitty thing about people being assholes is, like, and I want to say, like, even though it affected me so much at the time, and even though I was like so upset, and I used to seriously hate the way I looked, and I used to, you know, just feel like there was no end in sight and that I was never going to be happy with my body. And these people that made me feel worse about myself, I want to say, like, I would never in a million years trade lives or bodies with them now. Not even body shaming, not saying that anything's wrong with the way they look, but I just am genuinely happy with where I am now and who I am and like what my life is like. And so that's the beauty of, I guess, reflecting on these times in your life when you used to feel like such shit. And I want to just say that to anyone who might be feeling that way now, it doesn't last forever, even though it feels like it's going to. So that's just like my little side note there. So the next one, like I said, happened my freshman year, and I've already done a story time on this situation. It was the story time. I'll also link it in the description if you want to watch it. But it was a story time about, I forget what I called them in the story time because I didn't give them their real names. But basically, I was talking to this guy my freshman year, and his ex-girlfriend literally bullied me. Like, there's no other way. Jesus, can you guys get on here? She literally bullied me. Like, there's no other way to put it. So yeah, I'll link that story time in the description if you guys want to watch it. But basically, long story short, going into high school, I didn't know that this guy was previously taken by this girl. And even so, if I knew, I wouldn't have done anything differently just because they were freaking broken up. And so I ended up talking to him. He was a junior, she was a junior, I was a freshman, and she just went fucking crazy on me and just was horribly mean. And I remember, like, I wasn't fat at all. This was freshman year. I want to say at this time I maybe was like 135 pounds. I don't even know. So I wasn't fat at all. And I forget exactly at what point she said this because she bullied me pretty much for a year straight. And so I forget like what time of the year that she said this. But Facebook was really big back then. And so that's where most of the bullying took place. I mean, she did do a couple things in person too, but most of the stuff that happened to me was like me reading stuff about myself that people were saying on Facebook. And there was this one chat or like post on her wall or something, or someone else's wall, I don't even remember. I'll never forget that what she said. And what she said was, I'm not gonna say his name, I'll just say his name is Justin for the purpose of this. And this is when they were back together too. So it was extra hurtful because it wasn't even like I could be like, well, I have him and she's mad because like I have him and she doesn't. That's what was confusing to me. It's like, okay, but you're back together. I'm minding my own business. Like, why are you being so mean? And she was like, I don't understand why Justin liked that fat horse anyway. Because once again, her favorite thing to call me was a horse, which if you watch the other story time, you'll get the background about that. I can't even fathom how she was just blatantly being so mean on Facebook, just like openly. I feel like no one would do that anymore, but she did. And secondly, I can't get over the fact that she even called me fat because I wasn't. But I've already talked about this, like I said in the other story time, but she was like that popular girl that was just like so beautiful in the sense of like she had perfect clothes, her hair was always perfect, her skin was perfect, her makeup was perfect, she had a perfect friends group, she had the perfect boyfriend, which was just that Justin guy. It was like she was the epitome of like that popular girl you think of. And she was also very skinny. She's Asian, or she's part Asian, and so she's just naturally super skinny. And my body's just not built that way. Like I'm a little bit thicker. And so even though I wasn't fat, like in my head, I was like, okay, but she's skinny and she's calling me fat. I must be fat. Especially because I'd grown up chubby. So in the back of my mind, it's like, I always just have that chubby mentality. If you grew up chubby, you'll know what I'm talking about, where it just never really leaves you. So yeah, just because I feel like I've always been kind of insecure about my weight, just to have, of all the things she said to me, that was the one that I remember the most. Like, I really can't remember much of the insults that she said over the, like, it's been years now, but that's like something I'll never forget, because I remember just reading it and feeling like just such shit, especially because, like I said, she was so popular and she's talking about it on her wall, and I didn't know how others were perceiving it or how others perceived it, but my immediate conclusion was like, oh, everyone's laughing at me, and that's how I felt about it. Which I did come across her Instagram the other day, because I obviously follow some people who I went to high school with, and they follow her. And so she came up on my explore page, and now I blocked her because I was like, I don't want to come across her anymore, because I just got so mad. Like, I still get so mad about it, even though it was so long ago. It's like, I just can't fathom that someone was so mean. But anyways, I came across her Instagram page, and her bio says that she's encouraging, wait for it, inner beauty. She's encouraging inner beauty. And like, giving her the benefit of the doubt, maybe she's a different person now, but I never got an apology. Nothing was ever said to me. Nothing was ever resolved. And so I'm just thinking that she's still a bitch. I feel like that's always what people do when they're mean, is like they try to play it off on social media like they're this great person. But anyways, I digress. So then, I don't even know which one to do next. I'll say, well, another one that hurt my feelings too, really bad, was another soccer one. I think the reason why they hurt my feelings so bad was just because, like I said, I had been good at soccer, and then I got bigger, and obviously my play was impacted because of my weight. And so it was just like an insecurity I always dealt with playing, because it's like I could recognize how there was stuff that I used to be able to do that I couldn't do anymore. And we were playing this school. So this was in high school, not, because I used to play for a club team too, but this was in high school. So we were playing this high school called Kent Lake High School, and they were always pretty good. And so it was extra hard, because it's not like you're playing this team that kind of sucks and you're winning and it's whatever. It's like, no, their team was full of really good athletic girls. And even though I was heavier, like, I was still good at soccer. Like, it wasn't like I was bad. Like, I was still starting, I was still playing, I was still in varsity. Like, it wasn't like I was bad. And so I used to play center mid, and I still remember her face. I feel like if I passed her on the street, I would recognize her in like 2 seconds. But I don't know her name. But I just knew of her as like being the good center mid that we had to play against, because our coach, the same coach who also called me fat, kind of, he would give us a rundown of the team we're gonna play, and so I knew she was really good. And I've also always been aggressive playing soccer. And so that's how I dealt with good players, was I was just a lot more aggressive with them. But I never, like, I have gotten a couple yellow cards in my soccer career, but I think of all the games I've played, I think I've only gotten like 2 yellow cards. Like, it wasn't like I ever was that aggressive player that does stuff that you're not supposed to. It's like I just played within the rules, but still was aggressive with the ball. And I remember I got the ball away from her, and literally she was obviously so mad that I did that. And I must have been pissing her off the whole game or something for her to like yell this out. And I'm assuming it's just because I was being aggressive with her. And mind you, like the stadiums, there's parents in the stadiums, there's people's brothers and sisters in the stadiums. Both benches are filled with girls, and like I know other people heard this, and that's also why it was the worst, because it's like, god damn, like can you not call me out in front of everybody? And when I got the ball away from her, she just yelled out, she's like, fucking fat bitch. And I remember just being like, oh. I just remember like totally shutting down. Like I was just like, fuck everyone, fuck this. Like I think genuinely these story times are why I have trouble making friends, because I've had so many people just be out of pocketly mean to me for no reason, and a lot of old friends too, that I'll get into those stories. But I think that's genuinely why I have trouble having friends, because I only need Sarah in the sense that she was the only one who was there for me when everyone was so shitty to me when I was overweight. And so now I feel like, oh, you want to be my friend because I'm skinny. Or skinny. Oh, yeah, I'm not skinny. I'm average. But it's like, oh, you want to be my friend because you think I'm like worthy of your time because of how I look. Or I'm like, oh, you want to be my friend because I have a YouTube channel and you want something from it. Like that's just how I view people, because I had so many people treat me so shitty when I was overweight for no reason. Like for no reason. I don't know what this is, but it tastes like a cheeseburger, kind of. I think it has, let me see. Oops. Bacon. I think that it has like this kind of meat in it from the fries. And it has fries, mozzarella sticks, mayo. I don't know, just like a whole bunch of random shit, but it's good. I don't know how to bite it. Oh, it has an egg on it too. I wonder what this is. I'll have to like look it up and figure it out and post it. Okay, sorry if the setup looks kind of different. My camera stopped recording, and then when I was trying to press the record button again, I kicked my camera, so I had to reset up. Where was I? Oh yeah, I think I was gonna go on to the next. Yeah, I was gonna go into my next story, which is the next one that has affected me the most. We're going in order here. And this kind of elaborates on what I was saying about friends that I've had who have used that against me. And there's been other people who I've been friends with who have said it to me, but for some reason they're not on my list. Like it just doesn't bother me as much. They're not on my shit list. But this one was extra bitchy because, so like I said, I had gained weight in high school and I went to college being 220 pounds, and that's when I started to lose weight. I just started dieting, and to celebrate the fact that I had lost weight, I contacted this photographer. His name is Justin Swain. And he did kind of like lingerie photo shoots in the Seattle area. And I wanted to do a photo shoot because I was like, I would say I was like 170, maybe 175. And so I wasn't even thin by any means, but it was just like me trying to accept my body more and get more comfortable in my body and do something out of my comfort zone. Like I still have, to this day, I've never done a photo shoot after that because it's something that's like super nerve-wracking to me. And so I was super freaking nervous to do it. Like, not only have I never done a photo shoot before, but I'm gonna do a lingerie photo shoot in front of some guy that I have never met before. Like, it's just nerve-wracking. And so my friend at the time, who I've also done a story time on our friendship, I will post a link to that as well, but she offered to drive me and come with me. And we were with her, her friend, and then Sarah came as well. And so it just made me feel better to have people there that I knew, and like just to make me feel more comfortable versus being in the room with that guy and just having him take my photos like without knowing him, you know? So they came with me and they were supporting me throughout the whole thing, like how friends should. Like they were cheering me on while I was posing, like they were just being nice, you know? And then at the end they were like, yeah, you look so good, like I can't wait to see what they look like, all that kind of stuff. And then, so this is the crazy friend story time that I did where the girl I used to be friends with sent me messages on Tumblr, and that's how I figured out that she, I guess, had a vendetta against me. Was that she sent me mean messages on Tumblr, and then eventually I did this IP tracker to where I tracked it to her Wi-Fi in her dorm, and I saw that it was from the same campus, same school that I went to, so I knew it was her. And so one of the anonymous Tumblr messages she sent me was, don't you think that you should have lost a little bit more weight before you did a lingerie photo shoot, you fat heifer? Which, when I found out it was her, that was extra hard, because I'm like, you went to this photo shoot with me, you supported me doing this photo shoot, you acted like I looked good, you acted like all that kind of stuff, and then as soon as you're mad for whatever reason, like I just didn't want to be your friend anymore. If you want to watch the story time, you'll kind of get why. But you're mad because I guess I don't want to be your friend, and so that's what you say to me. Like you say, shouldn't you have lost more weight before you did the photo shoot? Like how fake and fucked up is that? Especially because she had been my friend while I had been losing weight. Like we met at the beginning of college when I was bigger, and that was the year that I lost weight. So it's like she had seen my transformation and knew that I was just proud of my progress, and just like had to drag me down like that. And looking back now, I can obviously chalk it up to her just kind of being like a hater and just kind of saying whatever to like bring me down and not really take it that seriously. But at the time, just because I still, when she said it, I still wasn't at my goal weight, it was just stung, because I'm like, here I am, happy with my progress, happy that I've lost weight, and then people are still assholes to me about my weight. You know, it was just hard because I was like, when will it end? I was just tired of feeling insecure about what other people thought about me. And if you are overweight, like don't give a shit about what other people think. I know it's way easier said than done, but just own the fact that you are who you are. And that's all that you can do about it. And like you can lose weight if you want to, you can gain weight if you want to, you can do whatever you want. But like, I wish looking back, I wouldn't have let these people's opinions and words affect me so much and make me so unhappy, because at the end of the day, they're just words, you know, like I should have just brushed it off, and that's what I would do now. But it is a lot easier said than done. So I know that it's hard, but just keep that in mind that I've been there, and coming from someone who's been there, just try to brush it off if you can, because they're just haters and they're mean. And if that's the only thing they can say about you, they can't say anything else, then you're winning, because you can lose weight, and guess what? What are they gonna be? Still a shitty person. So just don't listen to them. I got so much on my shirt. They also have ketchup in here, which I really like. And I honestly think, even though I ordered this one. I like this one better, so I will figure out the name of it just so you guys can know. So then the next one I'm gonna talk about is like almost borderline funny, because it's like just so ridiculous that I can't even fathom that this was said to me. Once again, like not in the way that it was mean really, like it was definitely not nice, but it's more of just like, why would you say this? So I don't even know why I was going to the doctor when I was younger. I don't think I was sick or anything. I think it might have just been like a checkup or a physical or something. And this was the last time that my parents took me to this lady, which I'm very glad. I don't know why. I don't know if this is why, because I don't think I necessarily made a big deal about her saying this to me. But they just never took me back, which is I'm very grateful for. But we had to, obviously, I think when you get a physical, I think you have to have yourself weighed, I think, which once again, when I was overweight, going to the doctor was my least favorite thing, because I hated being weighed, because it's just like, you just feel like they're judging you, even though I'm sure a lot of people don't care. It was just like, I just felt like I was just so insecure about it that it's like I was projecting that and feeling like everyone cared when they didn't, or they might not have. And I was younger, and this was like one of the first physicals I'd done. Now I wouldn't be that nervous to go to the doctor. I definitely still get like a little bit of anxiety over it, but I've always been like very anxious. Like I'm still a very anxious person in the sense that I have social anxiety. So just like chilling at home, I don't feel anxious. Like I don't ever get anxiety attacks, but like going outside and like even today getting this food, like I felt anxious picking it up because I was like, I don't want to order, like I don't know, I just get that way. Like it's foolish, but I do get anxious just like being out and about. And I've always been that way, and I've always been anxious in new situations, new social situations. And this was one of my first physicals that I'd ever gotten. And so my sister and I went, I think with our mom. I think our mom took us, and we had to get ourselves weighed. And so Sarah went first. And so even though we were both kind of like a little bit chunkier kids, both of us, she was still thinner than me. I was always just such a husky little gal. So husky. I don't remember what our weights were, but I was heavier than her. And I was already so anxious. Like when I used to go to the doctor and have to breathe in when they like put the thing on your chest, on your back, my breath would be so shaky. Like it'd be like, because I was so nervous. And so I'm already like fucking terrified of going. And it wasn't her that took our weight, it was like the nurse or whatever. So when we get back into the room and we're with the doctor, she's like reviewing our notes, which is also stupid. It's like, okay, you see that our weight's noted here. Why do you have to comment on it? Why? You're not even the one who weighed us. Why are you even looking at that? Like, what? And so we're both in the room, and she's like looking at her sheets, and she's like, I can tell that one of you likes brownies a little bit more than the other. But she said it in like, I'll try to say it how she said it. She's like, how can I imitate this? She's like, I can tell one of you likes brownies a little bit more than the other. Like kind of joking. But to me, that was just so mortifying. Like I was like, yeah, I know you're talking about me. I know that I weigh more than Sarah. Why are you comparing us again? Like what are you gaining from this? You're a doctor. Could you just get on with the physical, please? But it's kind of funny because when I was thinking about the stories that I wanted to share for this video, I looked her up out of curiosity, and she's still practicing, but her rating on Google is 2 out of 5 stars. So. Anyways, I'm kind of getting full, so I'm gonna stop there. I think I'm actually just gonna finish this part of the sandwich though. Did you see that? That's a mozzarella stick, literally. So yeah, I'm pretty full, so that's gonna be it for this mukbang and story time. I hope you guys enjoyed this type of video. I've never really talked about anything like this before on my channel, really, or like told stories like that, like little mini stories. So I hope you guys liked it. Just let me know in the comments if you did, or if you didn't, that's okay too. But yeah, I just hope you guys enjoyed the food. I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation. No, just kidding. I hope you guys enjoyed the topic and the food and everything. I just hope you guys loved it. So, but yeah, thank you guys so much as always for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.